Congressman, thanks for joining us today. President Trump visited Washington just a few days ago to meet with the House Republican Conference. What kind of reception did the president get?
It was a very warm reception, and he was one of the funniest people I've ever seen in person. What was great is that he, all of the elephants in the room, he kind of just, in a comical way, brought them up and kind of disseminated with all of those in a way that was very fun and warm. And so I thought it was a great meeting. And, he's very encouraging. He was there to support us. Like, he was saying he's going to do everything that he can around the country in his campaign to try to lift up and help those members that are in weak districts or very difficult districts. And so, here's a guy who's being prosecuted from one end of the nation to the other and going through facing so much adversities, and yet he's wanting to help us. So it's just an amazing person.
Between his visit to House Republicans, going across the Capitol and meeting with a Senate Republican conference, that some of those senators have not been as overwhelmingly supportive of the president as we would like, but yet the president goes over there, he's completely magnanimous, offers his support to them as well. It truly seems like he's doing a great job serving as the true leader of the Republican Party, and it seems like the party is uniting around him in a way that we certainly didn't have in 2016.
That's right. When he came in 2016, he was not, he didn't really have the connections. There was a little bit of a coldness to him. But right now, he's the favorite guy in the room. He clearly is in the lead of the Republican Party.
You referenced some of what the president's having to go through right now, certainly with the lawfare that's being waged against him, like nothing that certainly we've never seen before. It seems like in so many ways, it's validated a lot of what President Trump has been saying about the government being weaponized and the deep state.
Yeah, I think that when you've got the two issues. You have a pathetic presidency right now, absolutely weak and pathetic presidency that is that's causing voters to realize that they've made a mistake, and that is a huge mistake. We have a president who has allowed for wars to open up in other, all over the world. He's allowed for, just recently we found out that his open border policy has allowed for members of ISIS to come across our southern border. And now we have nuclear subs, Russian subs, off the coast of Florida into Cuba. And this would have never happened under Donald Trump. Then, what the American people are seeing is they see right through what's happening. They see that Joe Biden and his administration are using the system to go after not only Donald Trump, but to go after the people that are close to him. And then they're going after his supporters all over the country, whether they happen to be there on January 6th, whether they did any violent acts or not. They're throwing the book at these people, from them to people who just happen to be Catholics who are being investigated by the FBI, or parents who showed up at a school board meeting who are now labeled as a domestic terrorist. So the American people see it because they see that Donald Trump, he doesn't represent the swamp. He doesn't represent lobbyists or the special interests in D.C. He's one of us. He's one of us. That's why that's why they're coming after him.
You've got people who were there at the Capitol on January 6th 3 years later who are now being charged. You have a 75-year-old grandmother who was praying outside an abortion clinic, totally nonviolent action, who's being sentenced to 2 years. It really does seem like it's waking people up to what's going on. But what can Congress be doing to address that? Obviously, we want to win in November, but you've got oversight, you've got the power of the purse.
Yeah.
What do you think we should be doing over
Bradley,
the rest of the year?
Honestly, Congress has been feckless. I mean, my experience is that I've been there a year and a half, and I'm so disappointed. I ran for Congress because I was concerned, and I had deep concerns about the direction of the country. And what I can say to you is that the people that are currently in Congress today, unfortunately, this makeup is not going to save America, which is sad. Like we need a president to step in. But the truth is, we are one of the branches of the government, and the House should take a lead. We should be doing everything we can to close the border. and defunding this Biden administration that's trying to use lawfare against President Trump and American citizens. But we are not doing enough. And in my opinion, we've been feckless, we've been weak, and it's because we're not willing to take on the swamp like Donald Trump is. But you know what? Courage is contagious. And if he gets into office, hopefully his courage will rub off on the rest of the members of the Republican Party.
So you think that's what it's going to take to really give Congress the necessary shot in the arm to actually do things differently? Because it seems like in the past, House Republicans have always been like, oh, this is a battle worth fighting. It's a battle worth fighting. And you know what? Next time, we're going to fight it. But they always have a reason
say next
to punt
time.
it.
Yeah, they always have a reason. But I want the American people to understand, if your member is, we're at the point where America we're at the precipice here. We don't have another few years for you to let your seat and your office holder be just a go along, get along, good old boy. We don't need that. Right now, we need fighters, because we need people that understand the gravity of the situation and understand that it's going to take bold decisions to save America. And if they're not willing to do that, if they're not willing to do a better job than what they're doing today, then you need to remind them that you can find somebody better.
We've seen so much weaponized Department of Justice, even coming after Latin Mass attendees. What do you think the reasoning is for our government going after these types of Americans, and what can be done in a Donald Trump presidency to put an end to?
Because, Bradley, the deep state, they, just like Joe Biden, they want to have the image of being religious, but don't want people to actually be religious. They don't want people to actually seek God as the center of their life. They want government to be the center of their life. And the people who attend Latin Mass are people who are dedicated. They actually are, they're committed to their faith, and that's not something that they want to see.